Hello students, good morning. I am Mandeep Singh Thakur, Assistant Professor in Electrical Engineering Department at Chandigarh Polytechnic College, Kurua. In this lecture, we are studying about the managing self at psychological level under the subject generic skill and entrepreneurship development. Let us start with the PPT. Let me share a PPT with you. Here we go. Managing self for psychological level. In today's changing and competitive work environment, stress level is increasing in workers, individuals and managers. Stress leads to reduced efficiency in even the best of individuals, which in turn leads also to reduced productivity. Stress is a problem in all the countries of the world, irrespective of whether the economy is strong or weak. Stress. From an individual's point of view, stress is our body's physical, mental, and chemical reactions to circumstances that confuse, endanger, or irritate us. If controlled, stress is a friend that strengthens us for the next encounter. If handled poorly, it becomes an enemy, which can cause diseases like high blood pressure, asthma, ulcer, and thyroid. We generally use the word stress when we feel that everything seems to have become too much. We are overloaded and wonder whether we really can cope with the pressures placed upon us. Anything that poses a challenge or a threat to our well-being is a stress. Some stresses get you going and they are good for you. Without any stress at all, many say our lives would be boring and would probably feel pointless. However, when the stresses undermine both our mental and physical health, they are bad. In this text, we shall be focusing on stress that is bad for you. The next is types of stress. Here are some stresses like stress and distress. Stress is the healthy, positive, and developmental stress response. This may lead to employees to new and better ways to doing their work. It denotes the presence of the optimum level of stress in an individual. As stress is the good stress which helps us to improve our performance. It provides inspiration to the person when some extra energy is needed by him. The strength that comes as stress can be felt by players before playing a game. It provides them to strength immediately, which is required to perform. This type of stress repairs the body person to fight with any kind of trouble. For example, if there is no stress of performing well in the exam, student will not study harder. These kind of stresses are good stresses, or for us it is improved efficiency. Examples: getting married, nervous you get to play a game, perform speak in the front of people, riding on a roller coaster, scary movie, or fun challenges. These are some examples of stress. Means the feeling of excitement when you won match, the excitement when you bought new things, the accomplishment of challenge, the happy feeling of being loved, and the excitement of going for a holiday. These are some examples of stress or good stress. The next one is distress or negative stress. Distress is the unhealthy and negative stress response. It denotes the presence of the high level of stress in an individual, which affects his performance and efficiency. Errors will increase, bad decisions will be made, and the individual will experience stomach problems and psychosomatic illnesses. These types of stress are the opposite to stress, and it's called distress. Distress is not a helpful one. When the daily routine is changed and adjusted, the mind and body feels the distress. The mind does not feel comfortable with this type of stress. Some events leading to such distress are: the first is death of loved one, financial problems, heavy work responsibility and workload, strained relationships, or chronic illnesses. These are some examples of distress. Let's start with next PPT. Tips to managing stress. How we can adjust with this stress, or how we can improve this stress. The first is positive attitude. The second is support systems, exercise routine, laughing, taking time for you, and meditation. These are some examples to be healthy and improve your stress level. The next is causes of stress. The causes of stress are, these are categorized in some categories. The first one is life causes or life changes. Death of spouse, family member, near relative or friend, illness of any family member, divorce from a partner, children's behavior, children's educational performance, or a lack of money, and loss of money. These are the life causes for stress. The second is stress at workplace. To meet out the demands of the job, your relationship with your colleagues, to control staff under you, high staff turnover, poor communication between team members, lack of feedback on performance, or lack of responsibilities, excessive work pressure to give new results, working overtime on holidays, change of job, or change of boss. These stress related to the stress at work level or workplace. The next is general stress. General causes are fear, intermittent or continuous, threats, physical threat, social threat, financial threat, other threats, uncertainty, lack of sleep, somebody misunderstands you, cognitive response. These are the causes of stress or examples for the stress. The next one is effects of stress on mind, on body, on behavior, and on your emotions. When stress gets too much, it turns into distress, and if we handle it in a negative manner, it begins having effects on us physically, mentally, and emotionally. This is really bad to us because it can strain our relations with everyone around us and spoil our physical and mental conditions. Short term effects. The few biological functional adjustments which are responsible for the short term effects are: the first one is increases the heartbeat rate to supply more blood quickly, increases the blood pressure, breakdown of glycogen stored in liver, formation of more glucose, diversion of the blood from less vital to more vital organs. The adjustments responsible for the effects of stress on the body are: the first is chest pain, feeling of warmth, breathlessness, headache, backache, or neck pain, depletion of energy sources, and the last is anxiety or depression. These are some effects of stress. The next is emotions. Emotion. An emotion is an mental or physical state associated with a wide variety of feelings, thoughts, and behavior. Sorry. It is that feeling which is produced from hurt, such as love, fear, anger, irritation, hesitations. The word emotion is derived from the Latin word improve, where e means out and mover means move. Normally, lives in one moment you are happy and another moment you are angry. It means emotions moves from one moment to another moment. Emotion is not permanent, it changes time to time. It is believed that emotions and thoughts are opposite because emotions come from heart while thoughts come from mind. For example, you feel my heart is breaking, but there is nothing to be seen. But now new technology proved that your emotion result from thinking, which comes from your brain, and if your brain gets damaged, you cannot feel any emotion. The next is types of emotions. Means emotions are what people feel. In terms of evaluation, they are very ancient and can be seen in all mammals. Emotions are caused by a complex mixture of hormones and unconscious mind. Only with great difficulty can we control our emotions by conscious effort. They cause mammals to change behavior according to changes in their situations. In our case, they sometimes run against our attempt to live or lives in a logical way. The next is types of emotions. There are two types of emotions. The first one is primary emotions and the second one is secondary emotions. Let us start with the primary emotions. Primary emotions are those that we feel first as a first response to a situation. Primary emotions are important because they provide us with information about our current situation and get us ready or motivated to act in some way. For example, if someone is late for a meeting that is scheduled, you may experience frustration or concern. These emotions would be considered a primary emotion because The emotion occurred as a direct consequence of encountering some kind of event. The second one is secondary emotions. Secondary emotions appear after primary emotions. They may be caused directly by them. For example, where the fear of threat turns to anger that fuels the body for a fight reaction. They may also come from more complex chain of thinking. A person may feel ashamed as a result of becoming anxious or sad. Some people may believe that being anxious or sad is a sign of weakness or say something negative about them as a person. Therefore, whenever these emotions are experienced, these thoughts come up, which trigger secondary emotions. And the next is anxiety. Anxiety is a state after the emotions. Anxiety is a feeling of nervousness and worry that something bad is going to happen. It is the fear of uncertainty, financial problems, relationship problems. No complex activity can be performed under the effect of anxiety. People who suffer from anxiety cannot stop worrying about health, money, family, work, and problems of daily life. Everybody experiences anxiety problems in the life, but everyone tries to hide his anxiety. It is quite normal to feel anxiety in challenging situations. Sorry. Anxiety is a general term for several disorders that cause nervousness, fear, apprehension, and worry. These disorders affect how we feel and behave, and they can manifest real physical symptoms. Mild anxiety is a vague and unsettling, while severe anxiety can be extremely debilitating, behaving a serious impact on daily life. People often experience a general state of worry or fear before confronting something challenging, such as a test, examination, recital, or interview. These feelings are easily justified and considered normal. The next is types of anxieties. Anxiety is classified in five types: phobias anxiety, post traumatic anxiety, social anxiety, panic anxiety disorder, or generalized anxiety disorders. Let us explain one by one. Phobias anxiety. This anxiety is the fear of something that poses no real or immediate danger. People who struggle with this type of anxiety disorder often feel embarrassed and stupid because they know their fear is excessive. The next is post traumatic anxiety. This anxiety arises after a terrifying event such as natural disaster, terrorist event, and death of a loved one. This type of anxiety is shown by difficulty in sleeping, difficulty in concentrating, and pain of detachment from the loved one. The next type is social anxiety. Social anxiety is a very common. People who struggle with social anxiety feel extremely self-conscious and afraid in social situations. Meeting new people, going to a party, public speaking are all sources of this anxiety. The next is panic anxiety disorder. This anxiety is the sudden feeling of terror. This anxiety disorder includes physical symptom of fear that escalate very quickly. And the last one is generalized anxiety disorders. This type of anxiety is unspecified worry about everyday things. In this anxiety disorder, the worst expectations will happen. Chronic worry affects every aspect of life: work, family, school, community, and social events. These are some types of anxiety. We are done for today, students. If you have any question about this lecture, you may free to ask. Okay, thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you for today.